going. Going down. Oh yeah, just grabbed 5 gallons of premium unleaded Paramotor fuel for the morning. I'm starting this video relatively late in the day because we didn't do much today. We did the briefing for the SIV course, which is going to be the highlight of this video, happening tomorrow. So this SIV course we're doing, I briefly want to explain what it's all about. It's kind of referred to as a maneuvers course. So part of it is based around doing collapses and learning how your wing reacts in certain situations. Basically to arm yourself with a set of tools to know how to recover just in case shit goes wrong, which inevitably, if you fly enough, it probably will, so that you can be a safer pilot. The other part of it is basically getting into acro maneuvers, like turns and wing overs and all that stuff in a safe manner in a controlled environment. So the way we're doing this one is we're launching on our motors at Lake Wales Airport, flying out over this giant ass lake, and Chris Santa Croce, who is kind of like a legend in the sport, is coaching everyone on the radio. So I'm pretty stoked on it because I think it's kind of long overdue. It's something I wanted to do early on, but they're not that accessible in the US, so it's tough to get into. So speaking of the whole accessibility thing with learning Paramotor Acro, I just watched my buddy Shane, which you guys might remember from the Acro series. He made a whole video tutorial series on basically acro progression. It's called Freestyle 101. I'll link it in the description if you're interested. It's really good for the beginner intermediate pilots that want to step up into acro. So I'll link that down below. Check it out if you're interested in it. It kind of goes hand in hand with this whole SIV mission tomorrow. But we're gonna head on over to the airport, and I think we're gonna camp over there tonight. So I'll show you guys some of the van life shindig. Then we'll roll right into tomorrow with the maneuvers course. Jacqueline said she wanted Starburst. I guess I ought to keep her happy. Well, I doubt you can see this, but there's like freaking 50,000 RVs and motorhomes. So, wings over winter. How would you describe wings over winter, Jacqueline?
Lots of paramotors.
Yeah, the paramotor community as a whole is like really small, and it basically resides on Facebook. Like,
oh no, there's a hair on my Starburst.
oh Jesus, Starburst down. Aside from fly-ins, I feel like the community is scattered enough that there's like little subgroups of people that fly together, but really it's not big enough to be all tied together at once. And that's where like fly-ins like this come in. Last year was the most amount of paramotors I had ever flown with at the time. It gets pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks. So yeah, check out the Vanmobile official tour. I took the Scout out because the Scout is freaking enormous, but now we actually have room, which means we can run our little buddy propane heater. It's just a party. My sister got us this cat pillow for Christmas. We'll pick up tomorrow morning, pilot briefing at 7 a.m. and after that, SIV briefing, and after that, launch at 9. All right, good morning. Freaking cold morning in Florida. It's time for the SIV brief. We pushed it back because of weather, so we're gonna go do that, and then we'll hopefully do the flying part this afternoon.
Yeah, that's a mustache zoom, 200%.
All right, so it's getting to be that time. Winds are calming down, and it's warmed up quite a bit. So I think I'm gonna assemble all my stuff. The first run, I think I'm gonna do on the Mojo because there's really not any other appropriate gear at hand to do SIV stuff on. And I've done a lot of collapses on the Mojo, so it's not gonna be anything too surprising. So I'm gonna get up in the air and see how this run goes. Alright, so we are currently in a Walmart parking lot at night, so forgive me if the audio is a little bit weird. There's stuff going on all around me. For this next segment of the video, I'm gonna roll the clips of the SIV course. And for the SIV, I was on a phone call with Chris, who was down on a boat in the lake. So I didn't have recorded audio of my words or his words. So basically I'm gonna do like a post-flight debrief, talking through the maneuvers and like what I took from it after watching back the footage and everything. So first off, I want to say a huge thank you to the guys at Aviator PPG. They sponsored me to go through this course. If you don't know about the guys at Aviator PPG, they are who I learned to fly paramotors with back in the day, and they do training and gear sales down here in Lake Wales, Florida. So check them out, they'll be linked below. All right, let's get into the video footage. So I got over the lake, I'm chilling, Chris gets on the phone with me, and the first drill we do is basically brake pumping. And it's basically like showing you how aggressive you can yank on your brake to like free up a tangle, to get a stick out of your lines, whatever. All right, so for the next part, I start doing asymmetric collapses to the left. For these, you grab the A risers, yank them down, and let them up relatively quickly. I was having trouble with the left side because my throttle hand is on the left, so I switched to the right. I've done these a lot before, and the Mojo here is an A-wing, so it handles them like a champ. Nothing new, nothing too crazy on these. That one there, I just pulled and held it so that you could get like a 90 or 180 degree turn out of the glider. So for this part, Chris is telling me to pull a left asymmetric and basically hold it while countering with right brake and right weight shift to keep in a straight line. Then he tells me to pull a right big ear at the same time, so the wing just kind of shrinks a whole lot. All right, next one, I grab both A risers on either side, tip A and middle A, so 4 in total, yank them down for a frontal. I've done those and this glider does really well. All right, another full frontal, still nothing too crazy. This wing just takes it like a champ. All right, so now we go into a B stall, and I've also done these before. Basically the B stall is a descent technique. So you grab the second set of lines back, the Bs, and you pull them down. And Chris said that it's important that you don't pull them too much and that you don't pull them too little. You want right in the middle to just deform the wing enough that it looks right, basically. And the glider actually falls kind of behind you, and then it comes back ahead and stabilizes, and you just hold on. And I was like in kind of a crunch position, and you come straight down, then you let it out, glider pops out and you fly away. All right, here we go into another B stall. For one of these, Chris reiterated that it's super important that when you let go, you drop it like it's hot. You don't hesitate at all, because you're coming straight down. There's a chance if you don't let go fast enough, the glider will continue in a deep stall fashion and come straight down. Now we go into some wing overs. The wing overs on this wing, it takes a lot of work to pull off because it's so stable, but things I know that I need to improve on in the future is harder weight shift, particularly with my upper body, and using a progressive brake pull, which is something I've never really heard of. Both Chris and Shane in his Freestyle 101 series I talked about, they both mention not a linear brake pull, but a progressive, where you start slow and end hard. So what that does, I guess it kind of retards the timing of your wing overs, and it gets the glider to like yaw in a different fashion to set you up better for the next maneuver. So it's something that doesn't really feel natural, and I've never really tried to do it, but it's something I think I need to try out and improve on. All right, here's the interesting part. This is something I've never done before. It's happened to me under skydiving rigs where you get line twist, but on a paramotor I've never experienced it. So I'm kicking into it basically and just swinging around. And here I got 360 degrees of rotation. What you do is you grab the brake lines above the pulley so that you can steer the glider. And now I bring it out to about 180 and stabilize again so I can fly backwards. And here's where things get a little tricky. It kind of got hard to control, and the real big thing was I realized I was 100% unaware of what was going on around me. I knew what the glider was doing, I knew how to control it and what to do to keep it stable, but I had no idea if I was over land, over water, anything. So here I grabbed some brake and I initiated like a 90-degree turn, just nice and smooth. I could feel the G-forces load up a little bit, but here's where it gets interesting. I let go and it spins back into the line twist. And it actually took a bit of effort to get it to come out again. And I think the reason might be partially contributed to the Scout weather veining. It has a lot of surface area, so I kind of felt like maybe it was catching the air and turning me back around again. So this was something interesting. This was just a drill called tweaking the A's. And basically, one type of stall is called a deep stall, and it happens when the wing's fully inflated and rigid, but it's coming just straight down. And it's really hard to tell when that's happening because the glider's full of air, everything looks normal, just instead of the air hitting your face, it's coming up from underneath. And that can happen with old gliders that are really porous. It can happen if you get caught in the rain. Your glider can just deep stall and come straight down. So this is a technique to basically restart the glider, and you reach up and you grab the A's and you just pull them a little bit. Not enough to collapse, but enough to gain some forward speed and get that glider flying again. All right, here we're doing some asymmetric spirals, and basically the idea with these is we don't like round spirals. A round spiral is just where you grab brake and you pull. It's one movement, it's linear, anyone can do it. It's stupid, simple, easy. The danger is if you flatten it out too hard, the G-forces load up and you start to black out, you go unconscious, and now you just keep spinning until you hit the ground. Now the idea with an asymmetric spiral is you're varying it. So you're spiraling, letting it come out a little bit, timing it, and pulling it back in. And if you do it hard enough on the right glider, it almost turns into like a continuous barrel roll. It looks really cool, but it's the way to do a spiral. You don't want to do just a round spiral. So that was about all. The newest crazy thing that happened on this flight was what I learned from getting riser twist. A lot of the other stuff I had initiated on my own back at home and felt what it would feel like to initiate a collapse on this glider. So I headed back and got ready for another flight in the afternoon. To another. We got freaking Mark Honeycutt over here. Mr. Steele is in the air, but now I'm on the free ride. And we're gonna go rip around and try not to crash into another paramotor. Asade, I'll take you. Let's go. Think I beat him. Got Mark Honeycutt behind me doing a foot drag. Do that thing we do. It is good to be on a zippy wing. Freaking Mark down here. True legend. Blows up his Black Hawk on every flight. I don't think he knows I'm here. Dude, I am still recovering from a cold. I'm freaking blowing snot bubbles up here. Gingerly touching tips. So many damn paramotors in the air, you gotta look up, down, left, right, behind you, be a freaking owl and bend your neck. Let's see if we can't get ourselves in some trouble.
Check it. Got my toe wet. Oh, so, by the way, if you guys remember, I had a whole, like, string of episodes where I lost GoPros for my foot, and then I got, like, 50 of these 3D printed GoPro foot mounts in the P.O. box. Well, I finally rigged one up, and I went to stand up, and the 3D printing crunched off my shoe, so unfortunately, that wasn't the solution. You can tell it's a Blackhawk by the way that it is. Oh, that's all, dude. That's how you dump some altitude. Oh, no way. I see a thing. Do you guys recognize that wing? Not the one to the right, but the one out a bit? You see that? That mad machine right there? That's my legendary Icarus wing. Yeah, that is the one, the 19 free ride. The legendary. I missed that thing. Who's flying it? Is that Eric? What up, dude? No, it's his brother James. Just freaking cruising, brother. It's kind of crazy flying in a fly-in like this. There's just so many people. You just gotta kind of be conservative and watch your back. Wing looks like a freaking Trident gun pack. All right, let's lose our altitude. Buddy. Smells like someone's grilling. Oh, now it smells freaking rank. What the hell is that? Clear the area. Coming in hot. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Don't mind me. Just coming in the freaking landing area. Okay, that seems about right. Boom!